When you look around the NFL, one of the most important positions on the field is linebacker. This linebacker class is not as loaded as it has been in the past, but one player in particular who's not getting nearly enough recognition is Buffalo linebacker Red Murdock. Murdock is not only one of the best linebackers in this year's draft, he's one of the best prospects regardless of position in this year's draft. Over the last several years, Murdock has been one of the best linebackers in college football. In his 2023 season with the Bulls, he had 60 tackles, 9.5 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, and 4 forced fumbles. Those very impressive numbers are nothing compared to his 2024 and 2025 seasons. His 2024 season was one to remember for Buffalo fans, having 156 tackles, which ranked second most in the FBS, 13.5 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, a pick 6, and 7 forced fumbles. And as great of a season he had in 2024, he nearly had identical numbers this past year for the Bulls, having 6 forced fumbles, 5 sacks, having 13.5 tackles for loss, and 142 tackles, which ranked third most in the FBS. Throughout Murdock's collegiate career, he has forced 17 forced fumbles. That is the most in FBS history. Despite his incredible numbers, Murdock is expected to be a day 3 pick, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. I've seen mock drafts him in the 4th round and all the way to the 7th round. And unfortunately with Murdock, I think a big knock on him is that he plays at a small school, and I think that's absolutely ridiculous. When Murdock has played against big competition, he's been absolutely phenomenal, playing just as good when he does when he plays against MAC opponents. In a 2024 matchup against Missouri, he had 10 tackles and 2.5 tackles to loss. And then this past season against Minnesota, he had 16 tackles and a sack. Every single year, there are small school prospects who fall because they play at a small school. Look at Trey Hendrickson. He's one of the best edge rushers in the NFL. He was a day 3 pick from FAU. Max Crosby was a day 3 pick from Eastern Michigan. Tariq Woolen, one of the best defensive backs in the NFL right now, was a day 3 pick from UTSA. As I mentioned, Murdock is projected to be a day 3 pick, but if I'm a team and if I need a linebacker, I have no issues taking Murdock on day 2 whatsoever. There's lots of underrated players in this year's draft, but it's hard to find a more underrated prospect than Buffalo linebacker Red Murdock. I think whoever ends up drafting Red Murdock from Buffalo could very well end up getting one of the biggest steals in this year's draft. Red Murdock to me is without question the most underrated player in this year's NFL draft. Red Murdock is somebody you need to remember when it comes to NFL draft next month. That about does it for this video. If you're new to my channel or you've seen the videos before, make sure to like this video and hit the subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time on the Sports Behind Show.